Toma aquí.
I would love to welcome you here today. I'm here with Ingrid Bragemann and Belen Soto, Chilean filmmakers who are doing some very interesting work with brands and creative. And I know you guys, you own Tantor Films. It's a production company that does a lot of commercials. You work with Kia and Apple and other brands like this, and then you're also produce feature films as well. So one of the things which is great, because you have those relationships, you recently did a film, Papi Ricky, and you got a lot of your financing from some of the brands that you work with, Latam Airlines, Peugeot, various like retailers and so on in Chile. Can you talk about how that process? Like, how did you bring these companies in to help you pay for films? Because I know as film budgets get cut, filmmakers and creatives are looking for new ways to finance films.
Absolutely. It's a fun story. You can start.
No, well, first of all, for her, it's not her first film because she is an actress since she's 3 years old. For me, this is my first film where I am the producer, one of the producers. Until now, we did a lot of production services for films from the UK, from the US, so we had all the experience in the production. But then to go to do a film was something I always thought is quite another world, and especially a world where people say you need 3 years to be working on a development and to have the financiation. Especially the finance is the most difficult part usually for any filmmaker or production company. And when I met Belen, and she's very intelligent, is young but super ambitious and knows a lot the industry. She said, you know something, we are going to do films together. And I was like, yeah, great, fantastic. Let me know how can I help. She said, no, we're going to build a big production company for Latin America. We, by the way, have an office in Chile, an office in Mexico City, and an office in Barcelona, our offices. So we are quite global in our Latin American, Ibero-American spectrum. And she lives in Mexico City. So I said, okay. And then she came and said, look, I have a brilliant idea. I'm going to talk to the television station in Chile because I was part of a series that was very, very successful in Chile. And I would like to do like the movie of that 20 years later with the same cast. It was like
a commercial movie.
Yeah, like a commercial movie. I mean, coming from the advertising background, it's good to start doing commercial movies because we know a little bit about that part of the story. So then she went to the television station. This television station was always trying to call her from Mexico to Chile back to be moderating, to be acting, and she always like, no, I'm in Mexico, I'm good there. So the people accepted immediately, seems to be, and they just negotiate with us the IP, and they will say, okay, you've got it. So then Belen, being very fast as she is, she already was doing the script for that movie. And then it was like October last year, and she said, I have the script, I have a co-production partner, and I'm looking for the director. Then at that stage, she involves me. So we were talking to directors in Latin America, especially in Argentina, because Argentina and Mexico they have very good talent, actors and as well as directors. So we were talking to some big directors that used to work with Gael Garcia Bernal or with other famous actors or actresses. And we finally got to one which we think is amazing guy. It's called Sebastian Schindel. He's got already 8 films, just 1 comedy and 7 dramas. So then she insisted we have to do this with this director. And I was like, Belen, I mean, he has 7 dramas and 1 comedy, and this one is a comedy, so how do... No, he's great, he's gonna do it great. And I said, okay, then let's go with Sebastian Schindel. And then she said, okay, I will care about the rest of the thing. I never gave her a lot of importance until one day, like 2 months later, she came and said, okay, everything is ready. We will start to shoot. And I said, we can't
But you asked me one thing, like, but how you're gonna finance
Yeah, I said,
movie?
how we are going to start to shoot
Yes.
if we don't have the money? He said, no, we have the money, but we don't have the money.
I said,
but
don't worry.
we will have the money. And I thought, like, I mean, I like her a lot. She's a very good friend, but she's getting crazy, you know, like, I'm not going to put all the prestige of our company in front of this. I said, okay, and me really like trying to be very keeper. I said, how much money are we risking at the beginning? So at least to know how much money we will lose, you know. And she said, no, we won't lose anything. You don't worry. So then she came and said, we have like, the movie was 1.3 million. She said, we have 300 already that I got by private people that will give it to me even if we don't get in, if we cannot continue. I said, Belen, I'm really, really worried. So I talked to the other production partner, is La Merced in Chile. It's a very nice production company. And they said, no, don't worry. We really also can advance some money. It's going to work. Let's start. It's true. Otherwise, we are not going to be ready for the end of August for really making something out of this movie that a lot of people will love. So Belen, again, said, I'm going to talk to brands. Because the other guy with me, we're talking to the platforms, like hoping, I mean, we already will start to shoot a movie without the platform, thinking it's gonna work. I said, okay, let's really trust in the moments we are all experiences in the world. And she said, I'm gonna talk to the brands. And she's an actress, she's quite famous, has a lot of followers, not because she's an influencer, but because she's an actress that people have to have in their brands. So I said, I'm gonna talk to them.
So Belen, how did you go about connecting with the brands, and what was your approach?
Can you lead me that when I start to produce this movie with Ingrid and my other partners, Patricia and Maca, I always said, I'm going to raise this finance of this movie with brands. And I don't going to wait until the end of the movie to start to thinking in the sponsors that we can have inside the movie. Because I think that today for brands, they want to be part of the movies. Because if you are part of a film, you're gonna part of the conversation around it also in social medias like Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. So you have many opportunities to create something amazing and be here with your brand and also with the actors, with the characters. And it's like we did it. And so I raised this money before to start the production in Chile. And also, I want to say that for us...
1 week before.
1 week before, yes. But it's something so cool because I want to say that for us in South America and also in Chile, it's so difficult makes movies. Mm-hmm. It's not something easy. And our finance, like a movie of 1,000 million, is so expensive for us. It's not the same thing for United States, for Mexico also. So it wasn't a real experience that we can say we can make movies with brands. So what is the vision that we are gonna make now for Latin America, and how we can create this vision also for all the other movies that we want to do.
Mm-hmm. And it's amazing. And I know brands, to your point, are always trying to look for these moments where they can show up in culture and not really dictate the conversation, but just sort of become a part of it in an authentic way. I'm sure they loved your 1 million followers on Instagram, and that it's helpful to sort of secure that funding. So you go to the airline, you go to the car company. How do you, like, what do they want? Like, how do you make sure you're integrating in a way that doesn't make your film feel just like a commercial?
Yeah, we have different ways. Like, we create a big strategy, like, for each brand, because all brands want something different for each social media platform. So we say, okay, we don't gonna sell not the typical thing and common thing that only the placement active or the organic placement inside the movie. I want, like you, like a brand, being part of the conversation outside of the movie in our social medias. So I'm gonna give you, of course, your placement. For example, in our movie, we have LATAM Airlines, that is a big brand in Latin America. And LATAM Airlines is inside of the movie, but of the beginning. Mm-hmm. So we never put like non-an organic brand inside a movie. Everything is inside of the narrative of the script for our movie. So everything is so organic. When you saw like in our first court, our first cut, and
Yeah, if I want to interrupt you very fast. This is the other part. Then she comes to this director, big director, and says, okay, we have 4 brands, and we have to integrate it into the narrative. The director was like, oh my God, no. And this is interesting because I'm sure filmmakers that will listen to this or that are listening now to this talk it's scary, Like, how do you integrate the airline? How do you integrate the car? I mean, those two are quite easy to integrate, but then how to integrate the electrician company and the PaySafe app, which is a sort of another name, but it's like PaySafe. It's like, how do you do it without that it look knacky or it look not elegant or it looks obvious? How do you do that? And then in that case, from the production part, of course, we had a long conversations with the director and the other producers and the other actors, like how do we do that? And actually the director perspective is in this case very important. So it is like a forced love between producers, directors, brands, actors, and whoever else is in the equation, a forced love because they were not finding each other voluntary of love, but at the end it has to become an ecosystem of love, mutual love, and willing to make the other shine and get what they are expecting from. And I think that is the little recipe. And maybe, you can continue telling how at the end we really inserted it.
Yes, was also about this placement active and organic. Also, we have our strategic for social media. So I didn't sell only the placement. I also sell, for example, 8 short films.
Like short.
Like short film for your social media brand in collab with the actors as characters for your brand. So at the same time, you're gonna live inside the movie, but with all the months, like with the production, until the launch of
it's
the
like
movie.
8 months, and it's important if some actor is listening to this. It's not a collaboration of you selling your person or your face to that brand. It's in the ecosystem of the movie. So
Exactly.
whatever happened about the movie, the conversation in the
And
movie.
that's so interesting for
So it's part of the marketing for the
brands.
film
Yeah.
as well. So it's
Exactly.
like this collaborative marketing between the film, between the brand, and the story is sort of aligned in that. Can
Yes.
you can you give advice for filmmakers on how they could find brands to potentially work with? And who do you approach? Do you reach out to the CMO? Do you reach out to, anyone you know, I guess? Where does that?
You know what I did? I yes, because I move so much. But Instagram is my really favorite platform because I start to write, to send a message to all the brands that are the brands that I'm looking for, that I say, okay, this brand could be a good collab with my movie, of course, because have to be organic.
Right.
So when I send a message to Latam, Peugeot was one of the brands that we worked. Also, Enel is an electricity brand in Chile, and also we have, for example, Lifestyle. We have which another? Mercado Pago.
Yeah, which is the PaySafe.
If they pay safe. I really sent a message like in Instagram. I say, hey, I want to contact with you. Can you give me an email contact of your marketing manager or something like that? Best. Belen. And
Yeah, but she's a known person that has a lot of followers. I think it has to be somebody that has some background.
yes, but Instagram, this is the point. Instagram is a great opportunity to connect and make the networking with the people that is your interest. Because it's so easy if you send the message to the brand that they always gonna like send you something back like, hey, yes, what is the thing or what is your request? And you say, hey, I have a movie that I'm gonna produce. It's about this. I have discussed. And probably if something interest for them, they're gonna send you like, okay, yeah, connect with us. And then what I do, like I pitch my movie to brands. And of course, too many brands say, no, it's not something that we are gonna put our money. But this is the way how we raise the half of our budget for the
So it's
movie.
coming out of the marketing department's budgets and so forth.
Exactly.
And I'm curious.
The thing, sorry to interrupt you, sweetie, it's very important not to talk about marketing in this case, even if it is marketing, because what happened in the social world, like in the social media world, is that people don't like anything that looks unreal or unorganic or untrue. So when this is exactly the key of what she is telling us, is that we integrated these brands into the story as supporters, as friends of the story. This way you engage with the people, the normal people, the one that will be your spectators or later in the platforms. They create like a nice feeling about that brand.
Right, because you use the Latam Airlines plane and you use the Peugeot car, which like the character would
actually.
actually.
If you see the movie, there's a scene where the airline said you have to tell that we now have Wi-Fi, because they didn't have it. There was one of the only airlines that didn't have Wi-Fi for everybody for free for a long time, and they wanted to launch that in this movie like, as an idea of the guy, and we just integrated in a way like I really wish to show you what you did to me, and then yeah, but I don't have internet. No, yes, now you have. Something very like normal, that it's a dialogue that could perfectly happen in that scene, you know?
But
So
I would like to say also that I think that today for the producer, the most important right now is your pitch sell, and have the most important thing that brands want to see about like the return that they're gonna have with your movie. So in our case, for example, the most important was the story. The story is something so interesting for the brands that we worked in Chile. So the point of the story was, okay, check. Then the cast, the principal cast. And it's so bad today, really, but with the numbers of followers on Instagram and TikTok and everything, is something that brands want to know. And then the strategy that you are gonna use with your movie marketing campaign for your movie. How many months gonna be? How gonna be the return that you're gonna use with the launch, for example, the avant premiere, and the videos, these short form videos that you are gonna publish and you're gonna share in Instagram, in TikTok with your principal cast. So you have to make these different points and check that brands wants to see, to say, okay, if I put my marketing budget, my marketing budget for your movie, I'm gonna have this return, and I'm gonna have this visibility inside the story, but also in the cultural conversation around it in the months that the movie is producing.
Yeah. Of course, because the marketers always want to see the ROI and they want to see the marketing media mix plan and like where they're actually spending their money. I guess I just got this sort of, I have one last question my team's just mentioned to me. So I wanted to ask you how brands can get more involved. I know like Yves Saint Laurent has a production house and Rolex just opened a production arm of the brand. In what ways can the brand show up and be good partners to filmmakers and get involved?
I want to make a point about that, and maybe a little bit polemic point. We all embrace whatever initiative that brands or production companies or agencies have, but I think we are in an era where it is a little bit dangerous how it's going, that everybody thinks can do everything. You know, I think that a brand having an own production company inside make them eventually believe that they will be able to produce whatever they want to produce. And the truth is, to go to a certain level where you have been, I'm not going to say we are good. I think we are good enough, but we have been working 20 years in the industry in 17 countries or 25 countries with all kind of actors and directors and whatever. Especially in the service industry where I've been working in. So when a brand opens a thing, usually in the case of Yves Saint Laurent, eventually because they're so fine, they're just doing it for another reason. But if they do it for procurement departments or money, they have to be very careful, because to really get the good talent in the production world, not just in the actor ecosystem, you really need good people, and the good people need a long time to get to be good. And you just cannot just put a department of producers or young producers, because all producers will usually be very expensive. And they will just say, okay, now you guys produce, because it's also a form of talent and art to produce. And to get to the result they are looking, they have to see our world as an art part. Or not, they are buying art. It's not another provider. And in case this is as a message for those brands, if they are really opening production companies, they should make sure that they have the proper people guiding them in order to continue the level that the people are reaching in our world. And I think that this what we are doing here, telling you how brands pay half of our little movie in comparison to the movies you guys do here, is a way to say, let's build a bridge in between brands and producers and actors and creative people, but in a way where the respect is there so high that both are making the other, as said before, getting the best possible result. It's not good to step into the feet of other people and think, I'm gonna now produce as you produce, or I'm gonna create bags as you create bags. Everybody should keep their place. And this is the only way that this industry will continue being a healthy industry that is able to give work to everybody. And to collaborate, in this case, with the film industry, if the marketers start to do this, will help to develop a lot of projects that eventually would not be developed through funds or through visibility, and just help this to go ahead and making it, the more community, human possible, even if yesterday the gentleman from AI was here saying that it's the same. Eventually even with the AI, but together, So this is a little bit the message I would like to say for this.
Thank you. Did you have anything to add, Belen?
Sorry?
Oh, did you have anything to add?
No. I completely agree with Ingrid. And Ingrid have 25 to 20 years of experience in service.
But I'm impressed with her, which is really much younger than me. And I think this is the new generation. We have to fully support them. They have other way to work. They are much more straight in the way they say things as they are. They are transparent. They come with real dreams, but also very well prepared. And it's so common now that actors also start to produce, as she's doing now. And I think, she produced other things before. She produced a documentary for Africa, in Africa. I think this is a wonderful world which is starting now, and we can create something beautiful instead of thinking the world is ending tomorrow because of the war.
Thank you very much.
Yes,
congratulations on your film and securing funding from the brands. Thank you, Belen. Thank you, Ingrid.
Thank
You
you.
have asked you guys.